Hi, I'm Molly Clinton, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 different literary elements used in the novel The Kite Runner. Throughout the story, author Khaled Hosseini incorporates irony, symbolism, metaphors, imagery, and even an allegorical reference. There are 3 different types of irony: verbal, situational, and dramatic. In the case of The Kite Runner, situational irony is used. Hassan was said to come out of his mother's womb smiling, and from that point on, he was always a happy person. He had lived with a cleft lip for all of his life, until Bubba gave him the gift of a plastic surgeon to fix his lip for his birthday. This quote from the book gives insight into what had happened. By the following winter, it was only a faint scar, which is ironic, because that was the winter that Hassan had stopped smiling. Hosseini, 47. Just as Hassan got his lip fixed, he'd stopped smiling, showing that even though physical things were fixed, does not necessarily mean the real problem that lies within is fixed. Symbolism is used in stories to make them more emotional and to add a deeper meaning. Hosseini makes use of this by adding multiple pieces of symbolism throughout the novel. Some examples being the pomegranate tree, where Amir and Hassan would spend most of their days together, and eventually they engraved Amir and Hassan, the sultans of Kabul, into the tree. This tree became a symbol of their friendship. Even after Hassan's death, Amir went to see if their words were still there, solidifying that even after death, their friendship was still strong. Another example of symbolism in the book is the blue kite that Hassan ran after for Amir. Hassan, being a loyal friend, did not give up the kite even when he was threatened by Asef and his friends. As a result of this, he was raped by Asef. During the whole thing, Amir didn't stand up for Hassan and allowed it to happen. Despite all of this, Hassan was still able to retrieve the kite for Amir. The kite originally represented victory from winning the kite flying tournament, but it is now a painful memory and reminder of his betrayal to Hassan. The scene where Hassan gets raped in the alley has an allegorical meaning. An allegory is a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning. Most readers were unaware of this allegory until it was discussed in an interview with the author. During 1979, Afghanistan was invaded by the Soviets. As a result of this, many Afghan citizens died, and the country itself was destroyed. Hassan was meant to represent Afghanistan as its people, while Asef and his friends represented the Soviets. Amir representing the country that stood around and allowed Afghanistan to be destroyed, even though they were well aware of what was happening, and were completely capable of helping out. Looking at it deeper, Amir eventually becomes a U.S. citizen, and even more solidifies the idea of the allegory. Metaphors are also used frequently throughout the novel. These metaphors just make the text that much more interesting. This excerpt from the novel gives us an example. America was different. America was a river roaring along, amid of the past. I could wade into its river, let my sins drown to the bottom, let the waters carry me someplace far. Hosseini, 111. In this quote, Amir compares America to a river. Given that rivers always move forward and never back, he is saying that by being in America, he will be able to forget his past and move to the future. Here's another example from the novel. I helped him into a clean white shirt and knotted his tie for him, knotting the 2 inches of empty space between the collar button and Baba's neck. I thought of all the empty space Baba would leave behind when he was gone. Hosseini, page 163. Baba lost all of his weight due to his cancer. Amir compares the emptiness between his collar to the emptiness that he will feel when Baba will finally die. The 5th and final literary element that I will be talking about is imagery. Imagery is used to help the readers visualize the story. In the case of The Kite Runner, it is used during the scene when Amir goes back to Kabul to find Sohrab. Here is an excerpt from the novel showing this. We were driving down the cratered road that winds from Jalibad to Kabul. The trek between Kabul and Jalibad, a bone-jarring ride down a teetering pass snaking through the rocks, had become a relic now. A relic of 2 wars. 20 years earlier, I had seen some of this war with my own eyes. Grim reminders of it were strewn across the road, burned carcasses of old Soviet tanks. Overturned military trucks have gone to rust, a crushed Russian jeep that had plunged over the mountainside. Hosseini, 243. It is very important to use imagery here because this is the first time that Amir has seen Kabul after the Taliban destroyed it. To help us understand and see what Amir is experiencing, we have to visualize it as if almost we were there with him. And that will conclude our first episode. Thanks for listening, and check out my other 2 podcasts in this series. Bye!